Okay guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the Leatherman Charge TTI or Titanium, and this is Leatherman's flagship version of their most popular and best-selling multi-tool, the Leatherman Wave Plus. Now, because it is the premium version, you are also going to be paying a premium price. This currently retails for $155, which is $60 more than the Wave Plus, which is currently at $90. Now, prior to the whole COVID-19, this actually retailed for $170, and the Wave was at $100. So $70 more. Since that time, Leatherman has actually dropped the prices on many other multi-tools, more than likely due to the outbreak and a loss of sales. But at any rate, still $65 more than the standard Wave Plus. So this is just a partial review. I'm not going to go over the entire tool set. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube if you wanted to check that out. We're really going to look at the 5 major differences that set this apart from the Leatherman Wave Plus, and then we can judge whether or not it's worth that premium price. So what you see here is everything you're going to get with the TTI. So it does come with a nylon sheath, a bit kit, lanyard ring, and also pocket clip. Now the Wave Plus does not come with the extra bit kit or the lanyard ring or key-ring. Those have to be purchased separately. And I do have a Leatherman Wave Plus here that we can go ahead and compare it to. Now this isn't the stainless steel version, this is the black oxide, but again, the tool sets are exactly the same. So the main difference, first off, right off the bat, you notice is going to be the scaling. So this has titanium scales, hence the name. And one thing you first notice, it has a really nice matted gray finish. It also has this stamped out section here in the middle, and then also along the edging. It almost looks like, maybe lizard skin. So it's a really cool finish, really cool look. I like the contrast between the flat here and then also this rough stamped out. Now, one thing I'm not a fan of is the huge branding letters here. Now, on the Leatherman Wave Plus, you can see the name, but the Wave Plus is a little bit thinner, and then the Leatherman is a little bit thicker. Now, here on the TTI, the titanium portion here isn't as noticeable, but the Leatherman Charge is really deep. So I wish that branding wasn't as in your face, right? We all know it's a Leatherman. It doesn't have to be so big and bold. So that's one thing that I don't like about this scale. Now, one thing about these scales is because it is in addition to the actual tool itself, it actually adds to the weight of the tool. The Leatherman Wave has just the stainless steel scales here, and they stop just short of the top, and you can see how thin they are. Now the TTI, in comparison, these scales are pretty thick, and it covers the entire length of the multi-tool. If I do a side-by-side here, it almost appears like the TTI scales are 3 times as thick as the Wave Plus. Now, titanium weighs less than the stainless steel, but this actually adds 0.4 ounces to the total weight. The Wave Plus comes in at 8.5 ounces. The TTI is 8.9 ounces. And it is noticeable, the weight. Not only the weight, but also the thickness. Because you are adding these thicker scales, it does feel bulkier in the hand. And if I put them side by side here, you'll notice that it is a good amount thicker than the Wave Plus. And in fact, I have a Leatherman Surge, which is the larger version of the Wave and Charge. And if I put them side by side here, they are almost identical in width. So that kind of gives you an idea of the thickness of this TTI. So again, really nice scales, really nice look. Downside is it's going to be thicker in the hand, and it actually adds weight. So that's one disappointing thing for a premium version of the Wave Plus, and it being titanium. I would have expected this to weigh less. But again, 8.9 ounces versus 8.5 ounces. Now, the other issue with these scales is because they are so thick, you are not able to open these knife blades with your thumb by just rubbing them across. You actually have to make a concerted effort to dig the edge of your thumb in to get these blades out. Again, I actually have to turn my thumb in to get the blade out. So it makes it a lot more difficult. So in comparison, the Wave here, very smooth action. Just simply by moving my thumb across and get it open. So another issue with these scales that I wasn't too happy about. Now, as you use this more and more, I'm sure you're going to get used to it. But on the initial, especially if you've gone from the Wave to the TTI, that's one thing that is a bit annoying. Now, the second difference is going to be on the main knife blade. Now, with this premium version, you are going to get the upgraded S30V steel. This is Leatherman's premium steel. It only is available on this particular model. Now, it is a harder steel. It retains its edge a lot longer. Now, it is going to be a little bit harder to sharpen. But again, this is the top of the line steel that you can get. Now, in comparison, the Leatherman Wave has 420 high carbon steel. Again, good steel. Won't hold its edge as long as the TTI's S30V, but on the plus side, it is a lot easier to sharpen. So the third main difference is going to be on the serrated blade. Now, on the serrated blade on this TTI, you get the gut hook here, which you do not get on the Wave Plus. Now, this is super useful for cutting twine and rope, getting into hard to reach areas. Also, opening packages. And again, on the Leatherman Wave Plus, you don't get that. So, really cool feature. I really like this. My only concern is because you've removed the metal here. You have to be really careful with this, that you don't use this for something you're not supposed to, or you can run the risk of possibly snapping this blade. So, fourth difference on this version is going to be on the plier heads. Now, as you can see here, on the TTI, it does come with a cap crimper here. So this is going to be real useful if you're an electrician, if you're a tradesman, carpenter. Now, for the everyday average person, is this going to be a useful function? Probably not. However, on the Leatherman Wave Plus, which has a standard flat jaws, and if anybody is familiar with this Wave Plus, if you have a screw or a nail that you're trying to get out, it has a tendency to want to slip out of these jaws because these teeth are not super aggressive. And if you try and use this lower portion here, they sometimes may be a little too wide to grip that nail or screw. Now, the TTI, even though it's not intended for that, I'm sure quite a few people have definitely used this version to get out a screw or a nail. And again, that's not what it's intended for. And my concern would be that because, again, we've removed metal from the jaws here, whether you're going to have an issue with either cracking or breaking these jaws if you crank on it too hard. So those of you who have this TTI, if you had an experience with the crimper or the gut hook, let me know in the comments if you've had any issues with it failing or breaking on you. So the fifth and final difference between the TTI and the Wave is going to be the accessories. Again, on the Wave, does not come with a bit kit, lanyard ring, or pocket clip. Now, pocket clip, super useful. Again, if you're not going to have this on a belt with the pouch. And then again, it comes with the bit kit. Now, this bit kit I'm not a big fan of. Number one, it's not a full kit. As you can see, it's missing several different bits here. Also, the selection of bits that they gave you, not a big fan of. So you have torque, and you have hex, and you have one flathead screwdriver. One thing they did not provide on this kit is the micro driver. So flat and Phillips. And for those of you who have the Wave Charge, you'll know that because this micro driver is so small, it has a tendency to strip out. So there's a spot right here at the very top. So I would have liked to have seen this included in this kit. Now, in comparison, Leatherman does sell two different versions of full kits. They sell bit kit number 1, which is this same bit kit but with the complete set, and again hex, torque, which most people probably won't use. The second kit they sell is bit kit number 2. This one has the different Phillips heads, flat heads. It does have some square torque and Allen. So this is going to be far more useful. So if you wanted to get just this one here, which most people will probably use, that's $12. If you wanted to get both of them, it would be $24. So one other accessory that Leatherman sells is the bit extender. This retails for $18. And again, this will definitely make this tool or even the Wave Plus a lot more versatile. It's going to let you reach into those hard to get areas. This retails for $18. And then if you want to get the pocket clip and lanyard ring separately, that would be an additional $5. So is the Leatherman Charge TTI for you? You know, that really depends. If you're a Leatherman fan, if you are a collector, if you're into having the best of the best, then this may be worth it. If you are a tradesman, if you're a carpenter, electrician, and this is going to be your everyday tool, then it may be worth the additional money. But if you're just looking for a all-around good multi-tool to have around the house, in your shop or in your car, then the Wave Plus may be best for you. Again, it has the exact same tool sets with the lower end blade minus the gut hook and the cap crimper. Again, it's going to be lighter weight. It's going to be a lot easier to open. Now, if you wanted to purchase the bit kits, the extender, and the lanyard ring separately, you would still be $15 less than the total cost of the Charge TTI. And then if you wanted to purchase just the one single bit kit, you would actually be $30 less than the TTI. So again, something to think about. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. For those of you who are trying to decide between the Charge TTI and Wave Plus, hopefully you found this information useful, and we'll see you in the next video.